It may seem odd to you that I should skip so much. I must admit I thought there'd be far more chapters. Months of time, a whole gathering. I also have barely touched upon the whole drama business, perhaps because those are the bits you've already seen if you cared to, and I see no reason to waste people's time with it. A realization came, some might say too late, that Felida and I were not communicating, and that she did not in fact care about my feelings at all. The yelling was far too much for me, especially in front of our friends. She belittled me for the symptoms of OCD. She went apeshit over nothing, time and time again, and then denied it. Although my initial breakup PM was poorly worded and poorly judged, and I didn't mean everything I said, I did hit the nail on the head when it comes to communication and caring about the feelings of another. If she thought of me what she had claimed for 6 months she did, I would have mattered enough. A lot happened to me at once around this time, but I'll stick to the illness. I have not appeared on camera because my hair fell out. I also had abdominal pains and diarrhea, sometimes containing blood. I shook, I vomited. Yes, I meant to break up with Felida, but I was also not doing well. Her not doing well being a phrase she used, I used to use when I had stairwells to get me online and talking to her. Felida was fully aware of these symptoms during the break. Her concern was not with a human being, but whether she had somebody. She did not respect my desire for the breakup to be discreet. She ignored that we had always agreed at least to try to part amicably and remain friends. She acted as if the relationship never happened, although that is at least sort of true. Her concerns have been entirely for herself. You have either to be the action figure with the whole kit, must be full-on serious relationship immediately and always, must be eternal soulmates without a single doubt, must obey orders without question at all times. Fail in that. There's no middle ground. I was told, interestingly, to go and kill myself. The woman who had warned that she wouldn't be single for very long ensured I would know she had embarked on a new relationship within 2 weeks, that it was easy, that it was better, and someone else was now the greatest man who had ever lived. She is fortunate, I think, as someone who, quote-unquote, cannot be single and, quote-unquote, needs to be in a relationship, should invariably meet the greatest man that ever lived, and each greatest man that ever lived is better than the last greatest man that ever lived, especially fortuitous given the gap should be so small. This may sound bitter, but I have been trying to do the right thing for too long. It's like trying not to be a peeping Tom for over a month before you finally realise it's other people who are pulling down their trousers and shoving their dicks in your face. She gave up the right to my silence as surely as she gave up the right to ask how I am, become friends again at any point, or any number of other things. This is the closure that I was owed, not for love but for abuse. I am also not responsible for what anyone else does with these memoirs. It's YouTube. I will also not be engaging and will ignore all responses. You know that time Felida had her say? Yes, it's called Always. In fact, I'm taking another break of several months. I've started other projects. My hair looks better though. The toy is less broken than it was. Felida also confounded matters by, after a month, deciding I was a human being with feelings after all, and tried to get to me through a mutual friend having the nerve to inquire after my mental state. I then see, when I think I've held my tongue pretty well, that someone I thought a mutual friend described me as, quote-unquote, replaced. Granted, I'm in London, and have gaydar. I am predominantly gay, dear listener. And the underground means I can get cock delivered like most people order pizza, the difference being the pizza would cost me money. Replacement of your kind is easy, my dear Felida, although my encounters run at least some small risk of involving emotional depth. One final thought, Felida, and anyone listening, including people who may still despise me for having known her. The I told you so people, I suspect. Dawn was given a safety word by someone she knew was emotionally vulnerable. And look what she did. Do I have the right to complain? Maybe not. Am I the first? It is reasonable to say that that is not likely. Am I entering a plea of only obeying orders? If you are someone who feels I need to, then you are welcome to take it that way. That is all.